As I'm recording this video, the Milwaukee Bucks had just lost to the Toronto Raptors in the Eastern Conference Finals. And man, oh man, did this come as a surprise to me. I gotta say, I didn't think the Raptors were gonna win. I thought it would be a decent series, but I didn't think the Raptors would win. And if they were to win, I didn't think they were gonna win like this. Winning 4 straight after going down 0-2, I had thought it was over, just as many other people did. But if you hadn't guessed by now, this is a what's next for the Milwaukee Bucks. So let's get into it. So as I previously said, the Bucks lost in 6 to the Raptors, and man, did the Raptors, they stepped up big time. In the first 2 games, their bench was pretty much non-existent. So to see their bench have this turnaround that it did, that was great. Kawhi was amazing, as he always is. And this is a question for you guys. Is Kawhi the greatest Raptor ever after one season? He's gone farther than any Raptor has ever. So, me personally, I would think he is. And if I'm the Raptors, I'm giving Kawhi everything he wants and or needs, man. This man, Kawhi, I would do everything in my power to make sure he stays in Toronto, bro. Because what he's done in one singular season is crazy. It's so crazy. But getting into it, the topic now is the Bucks, and the Bucks, I think they'll be back. I think they'll be back to the situation. I mean, I don't know, maybe this could be a case of peaking too fast, peaking too high, but I don't think so. I don't think the Bucks will maybe win 60 games next year, but they'll definitely be a mid 50 win team, definitely. But I mean, yeah, you just saw Giannis. He didn't play the best. He didn't play up to his standards, you know, because of how the Toronto played defense. In the first 2 games, Toronto put Pascal on him, and obviously it wasn't working. So, I mean, you know, when you put the best defender of this decade, probably of my generation, I do want to say, at least the best perimeter defender of my generation, in my opinion, on him. Obviously, that's going to hamper him, but, I mean, still, Giannis, he looked like he was scared to go to the free throw line. So, that played a toll on him. And going over the players, Eric Bledsoe played awful this series. I'm going to say it. He played bad. He probably played bad throughout the whole playoffs. He didn't play maybe up to his standards. You know, he was just making some boneheaded plays. He was just so aggressive when it wasn't needed. You know, he would always just run to the rim early in the shot clock, get early shots up, and, you know, that had a hamper on them. So, I want to go back. I think it was game 5, I want to say. I think it was either game 4 or game 5 when, I'm pretty sure it was game 5, yes, when Malcolm Brogdon had stepped out of bounds, or the ball went off of his foot out of bounds late in the game when they could have tied it. That was on Eric Bledsoe, because Eric Bledsoe sprinted down the court for no reason when there was a lot of time left on the shot clock, when he could have gotten a great shot up and forced the pass to Brogdon. That wasn't a good pass, so Brogdon had to jump up really high to get it, and, you know, that caused out of bounds plays. So it was just some mistakes like that Bledsoe had that, you know, messed the team up. I thought after game 4 that George Hill definitely should have started. You know, I think they started him way too late. I didn't even think they started him, actually. But, you know, they should have started him, considering the fact that he fits into what that team wants to do. You can say, you know, Bledsoe's first team all defense, but, I mean, he wasn't doing anything to Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry played a phenomenal series, too. You know, coming back from the first 2 series, so to say. He played great. But, I mean, yeah. So, there's that. And they're locked into him for at least the next 4 years, so, I mean, yeah. I mean, he was first team all defense this year, so, you know, obviously he'll come back stronger from this. I have faith in Eric Bledsoe, but I mean, I think he's like 28 at this point, so I don't know how much faith I have in him, but I do think he'll come back for this. Looking on forward, though, for them, they have tons of guys to look at re-signing. Nikola Mirotic is the first guy I want to talk about really quickly. He's a free agent this season. I don't know if he's a player option or not, but even if he does, I'm pretty sure he's going to opt out, and he could demand anywhere between 15 to 20 million in my eyes. You know, he's a great stretch big that every team would like to have. So yeah, I would say you should look to re-sign him. You know, he was a vital point for them after they had traded for him. He played a big part in their playoffs and late in the season for them. And yeah, I would look to re-sign him if I was the Bucks. Also, Brook Lopez played a vital part of their success this season. I would 100% for sure look to re-sign him. You're talking about a guy who completely changed his game. In his early years in Brooklyn, he was strictly a post guy, a paint guy. I think he did he? I don't think he shot any threes. I think his first 10 seasons, something like that. I'm not sure, but he didn't shoot a lot of threes at all. And to completely change his game this year with how he shot the ball, and his threes he would take were deep threes, and he was hitting consistently. I think shot over 40% from three. So yeah, he was definitely a vital part of their success this season. So I would definitely look to re-sign him 100%. He probably won't demand that much, maybe $7 to $8 to $9 million per year, considering that he's up there in age. So yeah, definitely look at him. You have Malcolm Brogdon. I don't want to talk about him too much because 100% they're going to re-sign him. I mean, he gave you 15 points on 50, 40, 90 this year, which was amazing for them. He's a great 3-and-D player, and he's restricted, so they're definitely give him a contract, and I don't think he'll probably command that much. Maybe one team could screw them over. Maybe a team like, I don't know, the Hawks. Just throw like $20 million at him just to screw them over, I guess. But I don't think any team will do that. He should command maybe 15 to 17 mil, But he's a great player. I really do like him, There were some problems with him coming out of college, I guess you could say, because he was a 4-year player. That's why he slipped into the second round. But I mean, as you can see, he was really polished. And that showed too. He's a really polished player. So yeah, they'll definitely resign him though. And then last, but certainly not least, Chris Middleton. He was an all-star this year, averaged 19 points per game. Considering where he came from. When was he undrafted? I don't know if he was undrafted, but I think he was a second-round pick. But he was in the G League. He was in that trade. That trade that sent Brandon Jennings to the Detroit Pistons. I think it was Brandon Jennings for Greg Monroe and Chris Middleton. I think a pick was involved or something. But yeah, considering what he came from, he's great. He's probably going to command a lot. Definitely not up to 30, maybe not even 25 mil. But he'll demand mid 20 mil per year. Probably high 20 mil per year too. But I think you resign him if you're the Bucks. So that's my first option for them. Just resign everybody, run it back. I think that'd be great for them to do. I would just run it back. That's my personal opinion. Just run it back. But there is another scenario for them where maybe they just let everybody walk and go out and try to sign a Kyrie or a Klay Thompson or to a lesser extent Jimmy Butler. For me, I don't agree with this, but there's been some talks. I've seen some reports and stuff like that maybe this is the route that they would go, try to get a better team. But I mean, considering what they did this year, how far they went, I would just run it back. Honestly, I would just run it back. Giannis is only going to get better. I mean, he's only 24, and he's going to be the MVP of this league this year. So, he's great. And I mean, as long as you have him, you're going to be great. And I didn't even get to touch on the fact of Mike Budenholzer completely changes this team. I mean, his system is amazing. You got the 4 out, get Giannis at the top of the key, and surround him with shooters. That's a great strategy. You see it work for them in Cleveland, or not for them, but for the Cavs in Cleveland with LeBron James, getting shooters around him. And I mean, that's a great route to go. It's very successful. You see it. It's very successful. So yeah, I would just run it back for them. But say guys do leave, maybe Brooke could go somewhere else. Maybe Chris Middleton wants to chase more money. There are some other options out there that, maybe will give you some of what the other people did, but not to the extent that they had given you concerning chemistry and all that. But I mean, yeah, there's guys out there like Terrence Ross would be great for this team off the bench. Looking at centers, I mean, there's not really any centers out there that can do what Brook did this year, considering how good he shot from 3 and stuff. But I mean, maybe you look at Dwayne Dedmon. I don't know, Dwayne Dedmon wouldn't really fit, but I mean, he can stretch the floor. He can hit the 3, not at the consistent rate that Brook can. But I mean, you see the turnaround that Brook had, for his career in shooting 3s. Maybe Dwayne Dedmon could have that turnaround. I don't know, but yeah, that's really it. I think they should just run it back, and I'm pretty sure they would just run it back with the same people, re-sign everybody, maybe add a little bit more depth to the bench. I mean, you had guys like Pat Connaughton and Sterling Brown getting minutes. Those guys aren't really, top-notch guys. If you can get a great 6th man, that'd be great for you. Target a guy maybe like Trey Burke. Patrick Beverly would be another target I would look for. But I mean, yeah, that's really it. That's really all I can say. Thank you guys for watching. It's been So Sports. This is the What's Next for the Bucks, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.